Introducing the venomous assassin class, the undisputed king of the jungle, ruling through predatory might. This fortress defender is equipped with barbed armor, designed to repel even the most persistent apex.
The Cobra's specialized Jacobson's organ samples the air, mapping the porcupine's exact location before the strike.
One animal relies on a one-strike kill via neurotoxic venom, while the other relies on a passive, lethal perimeter of thorns.
These quills are loosely attached and tipped with microscopic barbs. This is the probing phase of the battle. The risk-reward ratio is clear. One wrong move, and the Cobra
The porcupine's strategy, known as passive offense, is to use its quills like a phalanx of spears and force the predator to make a mistake.
The Cobra attempts a high-angle strike, a desperate gamble driven by hunger. But the pork quills present a formidable defense in this. The Cobra's skin, while tough, is no match for the needle-sharp tips of the porcupine. The battle is a master.
The Cobra's venom is a last resort in this scenario because of the risk of self-injury.
This is the high-risk gambit of the predator class. The Cobra attempts to bridge the gap, stretching its body.
The Cobra relies on thermal imaging to bypass the Fortress-class defense, but the Porcupine's spike thrust forces a tactical retreat.
Here we see their differing combat philosophies. The Cobra is a burst warrior. The rattle is an acoustic deterrent, a language of death in the jungle. The Cobra makes a feint strike.
The Cobra employs a new tactic, seeking the high ground. This is the 3D warfare of the jungle.
A desperation strike. The porcupine quills act as reactive armor.
The narration describes the adaptive intelligence of the king cobra, noting it is one of the few snakes that can learn from a missed strike. The cycle of life continues, where even the king can be humbled by a well-defended prey.
In the jungle war, a draw is often a victory for both. Recognizing the
Thus ends the Fortress-class segment. The evolution of the quill is truly one of nature's most effectively. The jungle war takes place across all terrains, showcasing the aquatic versatility of the Cobra class. This serves as a relic of the ongoing genetic arms race. As predators grow faster and more venomous, their prey responds with heavier armor.
The nocturnal shift reveals the jungle's true combat classes. The king retires to his throne.
In this ultimate showdown of combat classes, we witness the venomous assassin against the fortress defender.
In the jungle war, there are no villains or heroes, only survivors.
The Cobra sees the porcupine's body heat as a glowing target.
The porcupine is now manual signaling, using sound and vibration to tell the Cobra that the cost of an attack is too high.
The king cobra begins its sinuous flanking maneuver, seeking a blind spot.
This is the acoustic shield class, where the sound itself is a weapon designed to trigger the survival instinct of any predator.
The Cobra's height allows it to look down into the Valley of Spines, searching for the porcupine's head.
This is the automatic response of the Fortress class, where the skin muscles, or panniculus carnosus, pull the quills into a rigid wall.
This intimidation class display makes the snake look 3 times its actual size, deterring the fortress defender.
The paradox of the defender: while its back is a fortress, its front is a critical hit zone, a hidden vulnerability masked by a spiked halo.
The king cobra shifts its strategy to environmental manipulation, an attempt at tactical confusion. While porcupines don't shoot quills, they can certainly throw loose ones during a violent shake.
This is chemical warfare. The neurotoxins are designed to shut down the nervous system. The snake is a
This Fortress-class creature faces extreme psychological pressure. To survive the monolithic threat, it must maintain absolute combat focus.
As the rain begins to fall, the moisture creates slippery terrain, affecting the friction-based movement of the cobra as it navigates the wet leaves.
A stunning example of evolutionary divergence. The cobra's scales allow it to pierce, while the porcupine's quills are built purely to repel.
The cobra executes the dagger strike maneuver, a high-risk strategy. But the porcupine responds with defender.
This jungle war is a primal balance that keeps populations in check. The king cobra and the Palawan porcupine.
The porcupine is shortening the front, a classic defensive maneuver.
A mutual recognition. This is the respect of the warrior classes. Both animals know the next few seconds could be their last.
The king cobra delivers a warning strike, a sheer display of power from the aggressor class. The impact force is incredible, with fangs glistening with venom.
We see the trophic cascades of such an encounter. The king of the jungle being challenged sends shockwaves through the forest. The narrator calls this active defense, where the prey becomes the primary aggressor.
The geometric perfection of this combat class holds immense kinetic potential. The Cobra is weapon.
The fight enters its final phase. Nightfall changes the rules of the jungle war. This environmental factor starts to tip the scales.
To the animals, it is everything. But to the immense jungle, it is just Tuesday.
The narrator explains the survival logic. The king will not risk a Pyrrhic victory, where he kills the porcupine but dies from the quills. We introduce the resilience class, showing how the jungle recovers. In this jungle war, surviving an encounter is the ultimate mark of a king.
The ultimate defensive stronghold, safe from the king cobra's venomous reach. The porcupine is realigning its quills after the stress of the jungle war.
The king cobra enters its post-combat recovery with a basking ritual. This thermoregulation class recharges its metabolic.
This chemical intelligence allows the snake to track the porcupine's path even hours later.
The Fortress Defender requires a high-calorie diet to maintain the growth of its keratin weapons.
The serpentine locomotion of the king cobra is a masterpiece of fluid dynamics. Contrast that with the plantigrade shuffle of the porcupine.
This secondary encounter begins the territorial rivalry. The cobra's reflexive threat display gives it the
A biological deep dive reveals the secret to their sustainable weaponry. This vital growth.
The jungle war has no boundaries. The cobra can pursue its interests across water and land.
This high-octane action highlights the pack versus fortress dynamic. The spike tank utilizes multi-target defense, proving its unbelievable durability.
This Neuropod primary combat advantage in the junqueties and parasol.
As this monsoon downpour shows, environmental adaptation is key.
Both the Philippine king cobra and the king cobra demonstrates apex efficiency. The strike and swallow is shown in clinical detail. In this jungle war theater, most prey are defenseless.
A fascinating bioacoustic study reveals these hollow quills create a warning signal. This auditory.
The jungle war is intense, yet the environment always reclaims the arena, illustrating the transience of conflict. Welcome to the renewal class. This physical transformation sharpens the king's vision and senses, symbolizing the king's readiness for the jungle war.
The protective parent, the fortress defender, teaching the art of the spiked shield. Though their quills are soft.
He's slower. The king cobra's flexible hinges allow it to swallow large prey, while the porcupine's jaw is built.
This showcases the visual deception class perfectly. The cobra seems to disappear in plain sight.
We call this the wall of no entry. A perfect example of psychological deterrence and fortress-class defense. The wild safari explores the cobra's nesting grounds, highlighting the maternal king. King cobras are the only snake.
This resource competition class notes that prime territory is always worth a fight. The porcupine rattles its quills in a familiar warning.
The king uses every tactical tool in its arsenal, employing mimicry and deception to clear its path in this jungle war.
The evolutionary standoff between the cobra and the porcupine was an unbelievable fight.
Here we see the balance of power, a delicate dance between the cobra's venom and the porcupine's quill. A true topographical master, the king cobra demonstrates its vertical warfare capability. Using immense the porcupine's thick coat and hollow quills provide insulation, offering protection against the cold and predators.
The structural shield class. This specialized scale protects the eye from needle-sharp quills.
The fortress defender must stay hydrated, but lowering its head creates a rare moment of vulnerability.
The elastic warrior class. This posture allows the cobra to strike and retract in less than a third of a second. Through its early warning class, the porcupine smells the cobra, preparing its aft defense, making the fortress defender nearly impossible to ambush.
As a cold-blooded hegemon, the cobra's very survival.
This is a true mid-air confrontation, introducing the multi-level combat class. Even the fortress defender is not.
The barbs act like a biological harpoon, designed to travel forward deep into the muscle tissue.
The cobra's size alone is enough to crush the spirit of most opponents. The snake's skin moves like liquid metal.
By rubbing its scent glands, the porcupine establishes a chemical boundary, a clear no-fly zone for predators.
This is endurance hissing, a vocal threat maintained without losing breath. This acoustic endurance is designed to wear down the porcupine's resolve.
As the sun sets, we witness a mythic encounter. The serpent of wisdom against the beast.
This is the truce of the lick, where even sworn enemies must adhere to the code of the jungle. Survival takes precedence over conflict.
Welcome to the hidden danger class. The cobra is often invisible to the unwary. Its camouflage.
The Himalayan porcupine, a fortress defender, is surprisingly agile, capable of moving its armored bulk with precision. The incredible vertebral count of the cobra allows it to flow like water around the porcupine's static spikes.
A small forest bird flies near the king cobra, and for a split second, the snake's hunting instinct is divided. This highlights the distraction factor.
We introduce the Celestial Sentinel class. The porcupine uses this low light to its advantage. Its spiked profile.
The rain cleans the slate, forcing the cobra to remap the porcupine's location. This is a constant process of rediscovery in the jungle war.
This is the art of the bluff. The fortress defender must sell the danger to survive the constant threat of the jungle war.
The cobra's skin is tougher than leather, designed for the rugged jungle floor. This allows the snake to engage the porcupine.
They are two sides of the same coin. One, the ultimate sword. The other, the ultimate shield.
This vibrational defense creates a warning frequency that can be felt in the snake's ribs. It's a crucial
The jungle war finds temporary resolution. Both the king and the defender have earned their place. The cobra paints a heat signature image of the soft underbelly.
These spines are not just weapons, but sophisticated shock absorbers that prevent the king cobra from finding a solid purchase.
The psychological reach of the cobra is immense. Standing tall is a universal signal of
The jungle war is won by the animal that remains invisible the longest.
These specialized paws are the anchor points of the fortress defender. By digging in deep, it maintains a low center of gravity for its rearguard defense.
The cobra's fainting lunge tests the reaction time, a calculated risk, measuring milliseconds of muscle.
The smell is a chemical no trespassing sign designed to overwhelm the king cobra's sensitive tongue. This is olfactory warfare.
As the arboreal sentinel, the king's perspective provides the ultimate view from above, essential for planning a three-dimensional attack in this jungle war.
The hollow point engineering of the fangs, designed to deliver high-pressure venom deep into the porcupine's muscle.
Welcome to the auditory intimidation class. These guttural sounds are meant to mimic a much larger predator, like a leopard.
A dramatic mirroring. The cobra stalks, following the scent trail, while the porcupine patrols.
The cobra's post-strike vulnerability is nearly zero because of its elastic anatomy. The head returns to its high guard.
The fortress defender is a master of geometry. using the environment to force the predator into a head-on confrontation where the quills are most effective.
The art of the distraction. The mask-like markings draw the porcupine's attention away from the strike zone.
The king must manage its internal heat to maintain cognitive focus during a long hunt. This refreshing interlude provides a cinematic pause.
The dense, coarse hair of the underbelly is a secondary barrier. This soft contrast to the hard quills is the chink.
We introduce the sonic weapon class. The hiss is subaudible to some, but felt as terror by the porcupine.
This is the silent competition, showcasing the hierarchy of predators. The civet yields the clearing.
This is the porcupine's final warning. It backs into this defensive cul-de-sac, becoming a literal
risk calculation the cobra is performing. Can it lunge and retract without being pinned by the quills?
Welcome to Circadian Combat. Nightfall brings a new set of rules to this jungle war. This sound is the heartbeat of the fortress, a constant reminder to the king cobra of the cost of entry.
The king knows when a target is too costly, showing the survival wisdom of the venomous assassin.
The endless war finds its balance here. The cobra's venom met by the porcupine's quills.
The biomechanical superiority of the serpent allows it to strike from angles the fortress defender cannot anticipate. This is the strategic elevation phase.
This sonic deterrent is designed to trigger a primal flight response in the king cobra.
The cobra belongs to the chemical tracker class. It reads the porcupine's fear and physical exhaustion through scent molecules. The vibration suppression class notes that the cobra is a master of the silent approach in the jungle war.
Leg muscle class allows the porcupine to aim its spikes. This directional armor creates a dynamic shield, locking the spines into place.
This is the environmental hazard class. The cobra uses terrain leverage, while the porcupine relies on its low center. A true vocal intimidator. The king cobra's hiss is a specialized low-frequency growl.
The narrator explains the offensive shield class. The North American porcupine doesn't just wait for the attack, it brings the fight to the king cobra.
In this scientific breakdown, we compare the detection class. The cobra utilizes high-tech thermal imaging.
In this moment of respite, we observe adaptive recovery. Both the cobra and the porcupine use the moisture for thermal.
Utilizing this natural bridge, the cobra executes a tactical flank. This aerial ambush focuses on finding a weakness in the spiked roof below.
The hollow quills act as natural megaphones, amplifying this warning signal.
The cobra's neural processing is entirely dedicated to finding the porcupine's head zone. This jungle war is a
The porcupine executes the turtle strategy, becoming a literal mound of thorns. This passive victory highlights the
king's reign. The hood is a symbol of authority in the jungle war.
The combat toggle is instantaneous. The porcupine deploys its quills in less than a second.
This internal look at the venom glands reveals its chemical arsenal. The neurotoxic potency is designed to systemically shut down it. Despite its bulk, the Cape porcupine has light-footed reflexes.
The dense bamboo creates a jail-like grid, heightening the sense of confinement. But these narrow spaces favor the cobra can analyze the health and size of the porcupine from a single spine, bypassing the barbs with surgical precision.
An external perspective adds community context. The cobra and porcupine become teachers of survival to the rest of the forest.
The fortress defender utilizes vibrational intimidation. This final warning stomp is the last call before...
The cobra has its own armor designed to deflect the primary impact of the porcupine's spikes. The gold and cream patterns are stunningly rendered.
The patience of the king, noting that the jungle war is not won in a single day. The porcupine is seen.
This is the unbelievable balance of nature.